So hello and what's up, GSC Pokemon Challenges channel members, how you guys doing? I am here. It is Obon, currently in Japan. If you don't know what Obon is, it's basically like the best allegory or best connection, I guess I can make it for some people who maybe are, the Western United States might know. It's like Dia de los Muertos in Mexico. They believe that the ancestors, the spirits, come back, and so it's a good time to think about some supernatural type of runs. And I figured, what the heck, I wanted to do an Alakazam with the Twisted Spoon. Now, the Twisted Spoon, in my opinion, is one of the strangest held items in Gen 2, because it's not exclusive to Alakazam by any means. It boosts psychic type moves, just kind of like, if you're using the pink bow for normal type moves, or if you're using soft sand for ground type moves. But for some reason, they decided to take this item and make it only available via a trade up from Gen 1. You had to catch a wild Kadabra in Pokemon Yellow and trade it up into Gen 2 in order to actually get this held item. And it just kind of raises the question, how good would Alakazam be if it had the Twisted Spoon? Alakazam, while it was a powerhouse in Gen 1, was never a Pokemon that had amazing stats. It was kind of middling, if you're being perfectly honest in terms of stats, but it just had the stats where they absolutely mattered: speed and special. Gen 2 affects things a little bit by breaking out special attack and special defense, but our special defense is still a serviceable 85, and we've got that medium slow level up growth rate. But outside of that, this is a glass cannon Pokemon if there ever has been one, and it also just kind of has the situation where in Gen 1 it was a pure psychic attacker. You could add on Seismic Toss or Dig, but that was basically it. Whereas in Gen 2 they actually buffed this Pokemon quite a bit by giving it access to the elemental punches, giving it actual coverage for a wide variety of opponents. At the same time, psychics were nerfed in Gen 2, so I'm honestly just interested to see how this one goes. But I decided to do it as a live stream because of the fact that it doesn't really fit in with the Thick Club Marowak or the Light Ball Pikachu Pokemon that were exclusive to a certain held item, but it's kind of an exclusive in a way because of the fact that you had to trade it up from the Gen 1 games, and it was only this evolutionary line. They weren't putting a Twisted Spoon on a Drowsy or something, so it makes sense thematically. I don't know why they didn't just make it an exclusive held item, but hey, it works. So with that, let's get into this challenge. Let's just see how good Alakazam would be with this held item, but there is a little bit of a twist, if you will, pun intended, that we're going to get into in just a second. So here, I'm going to start a brand new game, and I'm just going to go through this whole dog and pony show that we have to do at the start of this one. But basically, now that we're getting started in this one, the thing that's strange about requiring it to be a Kadabra traded up from Gen 1 is that Gen 1 Kadabra's wild Pokemon moveset is trash. If you use something like the Trainer Fly Glitch or something to get yourself a level 5 Kadabra, you're going to be in some bad shape, I think, because you want to, only get a Pokemon that has Kinesis and Teleport on its moveset. So I have gone ahead and buffed our moveset slightly here by giving a couple of TMs that are only available to Alakazam in Gen 1. So we're running this twisted run here, and we're going to start the game with a moveset of Teleport, Kinesis, Seismic Toss, and Thunderwave. Thunderwave and Seismic Toss are just generally speaking good moves for this Pokemon in Gen 1, whereas, Kinesis, Teleport, Really, I personally feel that between Pokemon Red and Blue and Pokemon Yellow, this was the Pokemon that was done the most dirty by the devs, because in Pokemon Red and Blue, it actually starts with Confusion, Disable, and Teleport. Whereas if you get it in Pokemon Yellow, it has no attacking moves at the beginning. But anyway, let's just get into this one and see how this Pokemon goes, given that we're not going to get a Psychic type move until level 16. It's, one of those things where, I don't know, sometimes when I do runs like this, I kind of like to point out the ridiculous decisions that were made by Game Freak. Why did you do this? And this is one of the ones that really gets me scratching my head every single time. For now, let's just get into the Rival 1 fight, where the only play is to go Seismic Toss. We're going to do a set fixed 5 damage here. So this is going to be a 5-hit KO. We can see Scratch is doing a lot. We actually lose. Oh no, we lost the first rival fight. I'm gonna reset because I actually want to beat this guy. So what can we do? Well, we could Thunderwave him, and now he misses a Leer. I think that's perfectly good. Now he's fully paralyzed, and we're going to be able to get the KO on this attempt. The reason I want to beat the rival, of course, is because we're in that medium slow level up group, meaning we will get to level 6 off of that fight. And since our only damage dealing move at the moment is Seismic Toss, levels are actually really important for this Pokemon. So we need to name our rival, and just like I did in the previous run with that Gligar, we're going to name the rival Game Freak, because yet again, Game Freak kind of kneecapped this Pokemon completely unnecessarily. Just my personal opinion, but honestly, like why did they hate Alakazam so much in Pokemon Yellow, especially when they already had the moveset with an attacking move in the original Pokemon Red and Blue? It just makes no sense to me why they nerfed this Pokemon this hard. Anyway, we will take a moment here to just find a wild Sentret so that it can be one of our HM Pokemon. And here, because we have no risk of actually knocking it out by accident, like with a crit, I'm just going to use Seismic Toss to get its HP down nice and low so that we can guarantee that it gets into the ball and we're ready to move on. Anyway, let's move on in this one where honestly at this point the question is just, do things knock us out because we have such low defense? Because, you know, we're just dealing fixed damage here. Honest Abe might be rough, might be really rough. I don't know, like that Spearow is kind of scary and he only attacks. That's his whole AI. So I think we're going to have to possibly even go for accuracy strats to get through. If we're going to get through this on minimum battles, that is my goal, to beat the game on minimum battles with this Alakazam. I think if we had a Gen 2 Alakazam starting with Confusion, it would be actually a cakewalk. But that's why we had to add some challenge here. Anyway, let's get into the gym. We're at level 7 and let's see if Honest Dave actually works. So he's got the level 9 Spearow, of course, and at this level, he's got 27 HP, so it's going to be a 4-hit KO to knock this Pokemon out. I'm going to Thunderwave it. Look at the massive damage that he just did. And he's doing like 8 damage per hit, so I think we have to use some Kinesis here to try to get some misses. We get 1 miss, but we do not get more misses than that. This is not going to be pretty getting through Honest Abe. So let's try this again. Let's just see if we go all in on attack. Can we survive? If he doesn't crit, we actually do get through that fight just by attacking. We get to level 8. That means effectively 1 more damage per hit against each opponent. And we should, I think, gain another level here on Rodney. So with that, we should maybe have a chance against Faulkner. Let's see. So Faulkner, attempt number 1. He leads off with the level 7 Pidgey. This is just going to be a 3-hitter on this Pokemon. I don't think we should do anything else. You know, like he's going for tackle. He has better DVs than I think Rod's Pokemon do. But we get to level 10 right here, only to find that Pidgeotto has 32 HP. So it's going to be a 4-hit KO. So I am going to paralyze it. We take 8 damage there from the Gust. We would need him to not move 2 turns. We actually survive with 1 HP. Ah, come on. I was so hopeful that he was going to be fully paralyzed there. We just did not get the luck. Okay, let's try this again. So here, once again on the Pidgey, I think we just go all in on the Seismic Toss. We might need a miss from the Pidgey. That might be the strategy. I will still go for Thunderwave on Pidgeotto, trying to get at least 1 turn of it being fully paralyzed. We get it. Now we just need the range to not get KO'd here. But unfortunately, he's doing 7 to 8 damage against us. And we need a low damage roll on one of those turns in order to get this to work. So let's just see, because at this point it might just be worthwhile to go all in on attack, because we're basically just banking on 1 turn of him being fully paralyzed. And since we are faster, we're always hitting first. We get a 7 damage range there, but then a 9 damage range and then an 8. So he can do up to 9 damage, it appears, based on that, you know, range that we got in that last fight. That really makes me nervous about this. We might need that Pidgey to miss once. That might be the only way to get this to go. Okay, we get another 7 damage range there, and we survive with 1 HP. So finally, we do get through Faulkner. It took 4 attempts to get that to go, but we do get to level 11. We're 5 levels away from getting a legit damage-dealing move. Oh my goodness. We've got to get there before Bugsy, I think. Otherwise, we're dead. Bugsy will completely destroy us. Same with rival number 2, because they just have Pokemon using super effective moves against Alakazam. You know, from a top tier OU Pokemon in Gen 1 to now being stunted on by random bird keepers. This is kind of embarrassing. Just saying. You know, I didn't have to make it this bad, but you know. So this is a max DVs run, and as we can see, I'm pretty sure that we are not getting through there with less than max DVs because of how that range was stacking up. Like that's not pretty. That's really not pretty, you know? So I am keeping these like unique held item runs as max DVs runs, just because I think it's, you know, interesting to focus in on, you know, the single Pokemon with the max DVs just to see how it goes. You know, we'll come back and we'll do some 0 DVs full game runs, but I'm planning to save those for mostly after the Minimum Battles series finishes, because I think it's really interesting to do the Pokemon on max DVs and see if they can beat the game on Minimum Battles, but then use those Pokemon that beat the game on max DVs with no optional battles and come back and do solo runs of them on 0 DVs, trying to do minimum battles and then comparing like how those results actually look in those situations, since we'll already have the full game run effectively of the Pokemon that we're able to beat, you know, at least the Johto League on minimum battles. All right, so here we're gonna come talk to Kurt. He's gonna like lead us down to, you know, the whole rocket, you know, section here, and I think he might actually be cooperating with them because he knows that we have a Pokemon that really doesn't want to fight down here, but we have no choice. This is the only way to progress in the game. Let's see how much damage we actually do against this Rattata. We're at level 11, but that means this is a 3-hit KO. It goes for quick attack even, so we're at least taking 2 hits from these Pokemon, but we could even take 3 if they go quick attack 3 times in a row. We get a crit there from this Rattata, and when he has us in a KO range, he's just going to go for the quick attack. So yeah, we lose to a Rocket Grunt that normally Confusion would just be like one-shotting these Pokemon. So oh my, how the mighty have truly fallen here. We get a couple tail whips this time, but no damage from the first Rattata, but we're gonna need a good range here on this second Rattata. It goes tackle there and then quick attack, but we do survive the second attempt because he didn't go all in on attack. So perfectly fine with me. I'm gonna heal with a couple potions, save the game here just because I'm scared, and let's go fight against this Nest Rocket. Oh my goodness. Like Zubat, normally a complete joke Pokemon for Alakazam, but not necessarily here. It's doing 5 damage per hit with Leech Life. We do knock it out though. We get to the Ekans, and this one I'm not too worried about. Poison Sting and Wrap are not really moves that I'm scared of in Gen 2. So we're up to level 13. We need 3 more levels to actually get a good move. We've got to get there before we fight either of the next 2 bosses, or I think we're just done. So, you know, no stress, no pressure. Here we go. Jamesy Proton. Let's see how he goes. Coughing here has 37 HP, so this is going to be a 3-hitter, fortunately. He misses Smog turn 1 as well, hits Smog turn 2 and poisons us, but that's no factor. We easily get through that, and we get the level up. So nice. We're at level 14. We have 2 more trainers that we can fight before we have to fight a boss. I'm nervous. We might just get there, or it might be a case where like against Bugsy, we can get there on the Metapod. I forget exactly where we level up in this section. I'd have to go back. You know, I mean, we did the whole Bugsy section before, and now I'm, you know, so focused on Jasmine that I can't even remember what was going on in this part in the game. But we have gotten to level 15 right here against this first trainer in the gym. I don't think Paris is going to level us up, so I think we're going to have to take on Bugsy and hope that the cocoons get us to that level 16 that we need. So here against Paris, it's going to be a 3-hit KO, but this should be an easy one as long as we don't get paralyzed like an infinite number of turns. Cool. So I'm just going to pop out, take a quick heal, and I think Bugsy is the play, given that the rival is leading off with a Ghastly and we can't hit it with Seismic Toss, this is the only way for us to progress on minimum battles here. Let's see how this goes. So Bugsy, attempt number 1 on the Metapod. It has 40 HP, so this is going to be a 3-hit KO. Sorry, 3-hit KO. We do manage to knock that one out, and we do get to level 16. So we get to learn Confusion. I'm going to forget Teleport because I can just get another Teleport Pokemon. Like, this is a solo challenge. No reason to have that. So very nice. Now we have our Confusion. I am going to use Thunderwave on Scyther in order to paralyze it, hoping that we can prevent it from hitting us every single turn. It uses Quick Attack, but we do manage to knock that Pokemon out. We get to level 17 as Kakuna comes out, and we destroy it in a single hit. So we get through Bugsy on the first attempt, in spite of our type weakness. The Confusion comes in at the perfect time, allowing us to actually get the victory there. Of course, the Thunderwave also put in work there, giving it paralysis when it started to build up Fury Cutter. That is a way to, effectively get through that Bugsy fight. Now it's time for rival number 2, and with Confusion, we now have a chance. He leads off, of course, with the Ghastly. Oh no, I had my moveset locked in. No, sorry, this is because when I set everything up in Gamehook, I actually locked in all my moves so that they would show up at the beginning. That was a mistake. We replaced Teleport with Confusion. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now we have Confusion. That was about to be a disaster. We had to reset because we couldn't actually damage the Ghastly there. Anyway, now we are back here properly, ready to go with the Confusion. And with Confusion, that's a 1-hit KO on Ghastly. Out comes Zubat. It's going to get completely wrecked. Very nice. We get to level 18. We could learn Disable, but we will not learn Disable. Nobody needs that move. And that brings out the Croconaw, where I think the only play is to go Confusion. We did like half with the first hit, and we knock it out in 2 hits, meaning that was a completely trivial fight. Now I'm up against the Croconaw team here because of the fact that it is going to learn Bite later on, so it will have a super effective move against us. It's the only one that would have a super effective move, and because we have lower defense than special defense, it just kind of makes sense to be up against a physical attacker anyway. The Chikorita line, with the Razor Leaf isn't quite as scary here, at least in my personal opinion. But who knows? It might actually be the harder rival. But for now, we can progress. We have made it to Goldenrod, and I think the correct play here is going to be to buy the elemental punches. I'm not going to necessarily learn them immediately, but I will have them available to me just in case, since, it's a strategy. I'm not saying it's a perfect strategy, but it is a strategy for getting through this part of the game. I'll just pick up random TMs that I don't need so I can sell them for money, so that hopefully I can afford all 3 elemental punches right here. I guarantee we will be mixing and matching them as we go through this challenge. Anyway, we have now made it to good old Whitney, and I think that this is going to be fine with the Confusion. I think we're going to be able to get through here, but let's just see if that's actually the case. Oh, we get licked and paralyzed. No. Snubble, no. Don't lick. Down, boy, down. I don't know. Was it boy or girl? I wasn't paying attention. But, Rover, get down. Anyway, we have made it to Whitney. Let's just see how this actually goes against her Clefairy. I'm going to lead off with the Confusion here. This is going to be a 2-hit KO. Oh, look at the double slap. Just wreck us. We're all the way down to like half health as the Milk Tank comes out. I'm going Thunderwave on this Pokemon immediately because I'm very, very worried about that rollout, and it just stomps me down with 2 stomps. So yeah, that's clearly not a great situation. Still, I'm going to reset for this on minimum battles because I do think we need to go for it. And hopefully we get not that crazy double slap from Clefairy. This time we get through with no damage taken. I'm still going to Thunderwave on the Miltank to try to break up its rollout. I'm going to go Kinesis as well, trying to break that up. And now we're going to go for the Confusion. This appears to be a 3-hit KO, and she stomps, giving us the victory on the second attempt. And we get a level up and learn Psybeam. Well, that's obvious. I'm just going to slap that on over Confusion. Oh, and look at us start to power up here. As we get deeper and deeper into this, our Alakazam is going to become stronger and stronger. I guarantee it. I should have given it Tri-Beam from Gen 1. I was trying to think of TMs that it only learns in Gen 1, and I went straight to the ones that you would commonly see on a competitive moveset. Thunderwave, Seismic Toss. They make too much sense on this Pokemon when you're, dealing with a metagame where you're, number 1, trying to slow down opponents and cause them to lose turns, but number 2, the Seismic Toss is just its standard play against basically everything that is you know, Psychic type, and that's its only real wall in Gen 1. But here in Gen 2, there are more walls that we actually have to worry about. So, you know, I'm not sure if that was actually an optimal decision. But here, I'm going to pick up some elemental punches, and let's sell some items so that we can get all of the elemental punches here. Anyway, we can come fight the Kimono Girls. We know Psybeam, which will be good for everything except for the two that resist and or are immune to it. So let's just get through these trainers nice and easy. And yeah, I think that Rival 3 is not going to be terrible here since we should outspeed in just one shot against the Haunter. And I think we just add on something like Fire Punch here. I think Psybeam's good enough for everything else. So, you know, I'm not really going to worry about the Crocodile and its bite. I don't think that's actually that big of a deal. So let's just go ahead and add on Fire Punch. It will give us a good neutrally effective move against these last two trainers in here, and it will give us a reasonable strategy for getting through Magnemite in a minute. So here the Umbreon using Pursuit on us. It's a 2-hitter after a crit, so that's perfectly fine. Now we get to take on the Espeon, which I'm not scared of at all. So we'll just go for the Fire Punch. It's going to be an easy 2-hitter sand attacking because it knows that it's going to get wrecked. And there we go. We get to level 24. We have completed the Kimono Girls. We can come talk to this old guy who's gonna give us Surf, and now we can go take on a rival. Perfect. I don't see any reason to go down to the lighthouse just yet, though we will make our way straight down to Chuck in this one, given the fact that we have the type advantage, and I think we just deal enough damage, especially with the Twisted Spoon. Our Psychic moves should just kind of be OP, I think, but let's see if that's actually the case. First things first though, rival number 3 is going to lead off with that Haunter that loves to use Curse, but this is a non-factor because we just Psybeam and it goes down. He's going to send out Croconaw second. That's perfectly fine. Psybeam does over half and he goes for Rage. Good job. So he gets destroyed. Magnemite now, we can just Fire Punch that Pokemon and it's done. We get to level 25 as Zubat comes out and gets completely destroyed. And now we have defeated the rival. We're going to fall down. We're going to see 3 legendary beasts and they're all going to run in terror at this Alakazam. They know Alakazam's here for a little bit of revenge on Gen 2, trying to nerf the Psychic type. What are you on? Come on. Game Freak, clearly they made a mistake. They crossed this Alakazam. So here with the Psybeam, of course, I think we just one-shot everything inside of Morty's gym. I think that this is just going to be a joke, but we'll see. Maybe just maybe something survives. I don't remember if Gengar was a one-hitter or not, but honestly, I'm not too scared. Anyway, we have made it to Morty. Let's just see how this actually goes. I think this is a one-hit KO fest, but he leads off with the Ghastly. Psybeam completely destroys it, obviously. We get the Haunter. Psybeam, another one-hit KO. I just want to see if we one-shot Gengar. We go Psybeam. We do get the one-hitter, so this is just a guaranteed victory at this point. As we get to level 28, really nothing to write home about. Here, we're just going to quickly make our way through the lighthouse just so that we don't have to backtrack as much. You know, we'll be able to get the secret potion right away. I don't know. Jasmine might not be hard in this one. You know, in spite of our theoretical type, you know, weakness against her gym, the Fire Punch might make that fight completely trivial. I'm honestly not sure. For now, though, we're going to make our way down to Chucky Boy and we're going to just stunt on him. We'll see if it actually works. And one thing that I will say that I found, it's not for a lot of Pokemon, but Chuck's gym is the first gym that has like a rando trainer, or technically 2 trainers that are kind of like Honest Abe in the first gym. It's the Black Belt Bros. I came in here with a Pikachu the other day and I'm just saying, these 2 black belts completely jumped my Pikachu. It was painful. I was sitting here trying to double team. I was trying to do all kinds of stuff. No, they weren't having it. They weren't having it. They were like, double team, let us show you double team. You're getting punched and kicked from both sides. How do you like that, Pikachu? Oh man, who thought that was a good idea? The pain. Still, with an Alakazam, we're going to completely destroy all of these randos in the gym, so we may as well just make our way straight to Chuck, which I think is going to be incredibly easy, but let's see if it actually works out that way. We actually even get a level up here and learn Future Sight, but I'm going to skip this move. I honestly don't think it's a very good move, personally. personally. Like, what, I use a turn now to hit a couple turns later? Like, why? You know, maybe with swapping Pokemon in and out, it would kind of make sense, but in a solo run, that move just really isn't that good. Still, we have gotten through. It is now time for Chuck, and we're going to see how he goes. He leads off with the Primeape. We're going for Psybeam. Easy one-hit KO right there. Poliwrath is out next. Psybeam is not a one-hitter. Whoa, it survives with 4 HP. Still, we can do anything at this point. I'm going to disrespect by using Fire Punch, and we easily get through that. There was no question we were beating that gym, and now we have gotten a 5th badge, so very nice. We also get to disrespect Chuck by just coming straight out to talk to his wife, who immediately starts talking trash about the guy. She's like, oh yeah, you know, he's lazy and, you know, needs to start, you know, training harder, like he's getting chubby. I just love how this lady's just like putting all of his personal business out there for whoever wants to hear. Like, you know, I am going to say that is pretty typical though. My Japanese wife definitely tells me that I'm getting a little chubby. You know, get out there, do some more training. Tell her I've been training for hours and hours and hours. What do you think I was doing in the, you know, recording room all these hours? Clearly, I've been training hard. Anyway, we can come and deliver whatever, you know, good old Jasmine has been sneaking around here secretly. We're going to just chase her back to her gym just to find out, you know, a little more information. What exactly is the secret potion? I want to make a held item that is a secret potion that will actually, like, you know, boost all of my Pokemon stats by like 2 times or something, like Pokemon steroids. Would be kind of hilarious. So here we have the Magnemite out first. We go Fire Punch, easy one-hit KO there. We level up to level 32. Second Magnemite comes out. We Fire Punch, easy victory there. Now it is time for the Steelix, the Pokemon that I'm actually nervous about. Fire Punch. Oh, does about 3/4 there. Then we get Iron-tailed and take massive damage, but she's just gonna Hyper Potion, and because we're faster, we're guaranteed to win. So Jasmine, joke. Utter joke. No reason to worry about Jasmine. Clearly, she's the easiest gym leader in the entire Johto region. Nobody ever thought that Jasmine was gonna be difficult, right? Right? Just saying. Anyway, we have made it to the final executive here at the end of the Rocket Hideout. Obviously, this entire section has just been a bunch of one-hit KOs. We just go Psybeam to one-shot against that Arbok. We're going to go for the Fire Punch, also a one-hit, at least with a crit against Murkrow. And now Gloom has no chance. We're just going to go Psybeam and completely destroy it, getting to level 35. Anyway, we have now made it to Price. And this is actually a situation where I think Price is going to be important. We're going to have a lot of special attack, obviously, but by the end of the game, we may actually have enough special defense that his badge boost actually works. So let's just see. So of course, he's going to lead off with the Seal. It's going to say attempt 2, but this is actually attempt number 1 just due to that mistake. But here, Psybeam completely destroys the first Pokemon. Dugong comes out next. We're going to Psybeam. This is a 2-hitter, but fortunately, Aurora Beam doesn't do that much, so we take it down nice and easy. Now, Piloswine, I should have gone for the Fire Punch, but it doesn't matter. Get a critical hit to just one-shot. Clearly, I'm just on autopilot here, but there's no challenges for this Alakazam, at least up to this point in the game. We're just completely crushing. So we have made it to rival number 4. Let's see how this goes. Of course, he leads off with the Golbat. We're just going to go Psychic, get the easy one-hit KO. Sneasel comes out. We've got the Fire Punch for this Pokemon, so easy victory there. For Alligator, Psychic is the play. Oh, we get the one-hitter right there with Psychic. Magnemite never stood a chance against the Fire Punch. Now show me that Haunter. Come on, Haunter. All the trouble you gave me in rival number 3, we're finally getting some get back here. So yeah, this is obviously just a cakewalk section. So here we go. We have made it to the final executive in this whole Rocket section, and then we don't have to think about Team Rocket anymore until the post game. So we can just one-shot Houndour with a Thunder Punch. We're going to stick with Thunder Punch on the Houndoom. It's a 2-hitter as it goes Bite, but we easily get through that Pokemon. Coughing, never stood a chance. Psychic, easy victory. Easy, easy, easy. So just like that, we have completed this entire section, and we're ready to move on and finally get back to some gym badges. It's time for Claire. And I think the play for Claire is going to be to go for the Ice Punch. at this point, so I'm just gonna go for it. And don't worry, we're just gonna buy, you know, a bunch more of these elemental punches before we actually go to the league, so we can just swap them in and out as much as we want. That is the beauty of the elemental punches, is that you just get as many of them as you want and just, you know, who cares? The rest of the run, you're just like, yeah, this is fine. Anyway, it is time to take on Claire. Let's just see how this goes. We've got Ice Punch. The first Dragonair is an easy one-hit KO. It's going to bring out the second Dragonair, which is more of the same. Third Dragonair. But now that we get to the Kingdra, this is where I'm going to just be interested to see how much Psychic actually does. We do have a massive 169 special attack stat, which is very nice. So maybe this is going to be fine. Psychic manages not to get the one-hit KO. It's going to be a two-hitter, but with the Hyper Potion, we're just guaranteed to win after that. And Kingdra easily goes down. So there we go, guys. 8 badges, minimum battles. It hasn't been really hard since the beginning. You know, we made it unnecessarily hard on ourselves at the beginning, but that's actually Game Freak's fault. That's not my fault. I take no responsibility for this. So here we can just come into the Dragon's Den, and we're going to go tell these old guys about what Game Freak did to this Pokemon in Gen 1, just so that they can, you know, be appalled. That's what they really want to do. They want to be appalled at something. So Claire gets told by old guys that she needs to come off it and actually give us a badge. So I still want the explanation. Why does everybody in Gen 2, not technically everybody, but, you know, Claire and Whitney, try to not give you badges? It just never made any sense to me. It's disrespect, guys. Just terrible, terrible disrespect. We're out here putting in work. I think we're going to do perfectly fine here against the league. Just my prediction. I think that we have enough moves, enough type coverage, the stats. Speed kills, guys. Speed is the name of the game. It could be a situation where we find ourselves in a tough spot, but honestly, I don't think it's going to be too bad. Okay, we have come against rival number 5, and I've made a terrible mistake because I'm coming in with the Ice Punch here. Oh, terrible. Sneasel actually gets decent damage, but now we can go Psychic on the Golbat. This is an easy one-hit KO. Magneton, I'm just going to stick with Psychic here because, you know, I think it's my best move. We get hit by Swift when we don't one-shot. We wanted the Fire Punch here. That was the mistake. Now Shadow Ball ends me. There's a simple solution for this, though. We just need Fire Punch instead of Ice Punch. This is why we went and bought a whole bunch of elemental punches. Where did my Fire Punch go? Hey, there it is. Okay, I can fix this, guys. I can fix this. This should have been an easy minimum battles win, I think. Let's try this again. So, next attempt here, Sneasel. We're just going to disrespect with the Fire Punch, get the easy one-hit KO. Golbat comes out next. Psychic, easy victory there. It's going to bring out Magneton, Fire Punch, another easy one-hit KO. Haunter, get Psychic, no problem. Now we've got the Kadabra, Fire Punch, one-shots, and now the Feraligatr, Psychic, and it doesn't quite get the one-hitter. It goes Slash, but we easily win on the next turn. So yeah, that really wasn't bad at all. And just like that, we have managed to get through this. Now we've got to deal with Willy Boy, though. And question is, do we go for the Shadow Ball here? Need the opinions, guys. Do we go for Shadow Ball here? That's my first impression. First inclination is go for Shadow Ball and possibly win. What do you guys think? Let's see. I've got the Fire Punch, which is going to be good for Jinx and for Exeggutor, and it's going to be neutral against the Zatus. So it's going to be Slowbro that is the one that we actually struggle to knock out here. We may need to go for some paralysis. Let's just test this out and see. So first attempt here against Willy Boy. I'm even just going to try Psychic on the Zatu. This is going to be a 2-hit KO. He confuses me, but we just knock out the first Zatu. No issues whatsoever there. Sends out the second Zatu. Okay. And he's trying to trade Psychic with us, but clearly we're the superior Psychic user. We just knock it out in 2 hits. Now Jinx, we can go Fire Punch. That's an easy one-hit KO. That brings out Exeggutor, where we also go Fire Punch. Another easy one-hitter. Now Slowbro, the only one we don't have anything good for. We're going to go Psychic. We got the Twisted Spoon. This is what we're here for, but it knows Amnesia, and now it's cursing, and now we get Body Slammed, but it's not enough. Oh, the curse and the Body Slam did not actually look that scary. That was kind of good. Granted, we are in the medium slow level up group, so we're at a pretty high level already at level 48. So, you know, take that for what it is. Anyway, we have made it to Koga. Let's see how this one goes. I think we got this in the bag. He, of course, is going to lead off with Ariados. And the issue is I did not recover PP and Psychic. Okay, we're going Fire Punch on this one. Still, this should be perfectly fine. Fortress, get Fire Punched. Easy one-hit KO victory on that one. Muck comes out. This is where I will go Psychic and get the one-hit KO. We get to level 49 as the Crobat comes out. We outspeed and just one-shot with Psychic. And that brings out Venomoth. We've got the Fire Punch. So the ultimate disrespect. Koga remains completely dominated by Alakazam in Gen 2. So now I'm going to just make sure to pop an Ether on the Psychic. That should be all that we need here for Bruno. I think he's going to be a bunch of one-hit KOs. We're going to give him PTSD of his Gen 1 days. That's what we're aiming for here. He's going to lead off with the Hitmontop. He's going to be like, I have better special defense. I don't think we care. You see one-hit KO. Onix comes out next because he's just scared of Psychic. We one-shot it. Clearly, he didn't learn from Gen 1. Hitmonlee completely destroyed. Out comes the Machamp. Psychic is a one-hit KO on that, and I think that's all she wrote. We get to level 50 as Hitmonchan comes out and goes for the Mach Punch to disrespect, and we still just completely destroy it. So clearly Bruno, he was never a challenge. Never should have even been allowed to join the league, but especially after that performance, he should be removed from the league immediately. Join the petition. Remove Bruno from the league. Just saying. All right, we have made it to Karen. Karen could be the first spot where we actually have trouble. We definitely need to not have Fire Punch here. We need a different move. I'm going for the Thunder Punch because we need a neutrally effective move against the Houndour. I think this is our best play. We could go Dynamic Punch, but I'm going to avoid that for now. Let's just go with this instead. So, Karen attempt number 1. I'm a little scared here of this Umbreon. Looks to be a 3-hit KO. Now, we should have some Pokemon that are a little bit easier. In fact, it's a 4-hit KO, but we do snap out of Confusion. Murkrow, we can go for the Thunder Punch and get the KO right there. Houndoom comes out next. I'm going to recover here. Crunch does massive damage. I think we need a Thunder Wave there. Okay, that is our first reset on the league, is Karen. This is a legit scary fight. So I'm going to go for Thunder Wave now on Umbreon. Of course, it disrespects me by going for the Sand Attack. We hit ourselves in Confusion once, and I'm gonna just have to recover HP here to keep my HP as high as possible. We're hoping to get it fully paralyzed. Nice. There we can just barely miss knocking it out. That's fine. We're just waiting for it to be fully paralyzed another turn. And now we can knock that one out. We're on full health this time going to Murkrow, which means we can knock that one out. Houndoom is the issue. Let's see what Thunder Punch does. It does slightly less than half, and it drops our special defense. We would need a crit here in order to get through this Pokemon. Houndoom finally giving us something to be a little bit nervous about here. And honestly, like, I don't think we have anything better than this other than maybe going Dynamic Punch and trying to get, you know, a setup there. Here I made a mistake by not going straight for the Thunder Wave and to recover, but fair enough. We're going to get through Umbreon just fine. Murkrow, once again, we're going to take it down. We're going to need, I think, Paralysis Luck on this Houndoom. After we get through Houndoom, we're perfectly fine. We're golden. So we're just hoping that it will be fully paralyzed for a turn. Now it goes Pursuit. And it's like slowly whittling us down. We finally get it to be fully paralyzed for a turn, and it lowers our special defense. And that was all she wrote for that. Sorry, I was hoping that we could get better paralysis luck than that. We are not allowed to use the magnet in this one because this is a Twisted Spoon run. That is the whole extra stakes attached to this one, is that we have to use only the Twisted Spoon. I was talking about it in the intro, but yeah, it's one of these runs where I'm doing with only a specific held item. And the Sand Attack is kind of an issue as well. If this were Gen 1 where you actually get badge boosts, then we would probably be fine with the Sand Attacks, but here this is kind of an issue. So here we just barely survive against the Crunch. It's fully paralyzed, but then we miss. So clearly never even got a chance there. Houndoom time, Thunder Wave, fully paralyzed, and critical hit. There we go. Once we get through that, Psychic on the Gengar is going to be an easy one-hit KO, and out comes the Vileplume. Psychic and we get the one hitter there. So that was not a pretty fight, but it is possible. You just need the crit there basically, or the crazy luck with the paralysis. That's what you're going for. But with that, we have actually made it now through that section. And now I'm going to do what might seem like a questionable decision, but I think it's actually a super easy decision. I'm going to keep Thunder Punch, but I'm going to forget Psychic to learn Ice Punch. And I just think that this is the simplest way to get through this fight, because we can just learn Psychic again via TM once we get to Kanto, so there's really nothing to worry about. Let's just get straight into this. So Lancey Boy attempt number 1. He leads off with Gyarados. We Thunder Punch. Easy one-hit KO. He's going to send out a Dragonite. We're going to Ice Punch the Dragonite. Easy one-hitter there. Now second Dragonite. Get Ice Punched. Easy victory. That's going to send out now an Aerodactyl. We could just go Ice Punch. It's perfectly fine. Charizard comes out. Thunder Punch. Ooh, two-hitter. Oh no. Oh no. The wing attack. Scary. And now Ice Punch on the final Dragonite is a one-hit KO. Lance never stood a chance. The only issue is that we didn't one-shot the Charizard. That's it. Clearly, you know, I mean, anytime that you can just forget a move and then relearn it via TM, no need to be worried about forgetting that move. And honestly, like, elemental punches are just OP on this Pokemon. You know, we have such a massive special attack stat, 196. Come on, nearly 200 special attack just at this point. We're golden. So with that, we have managed to get through all of Johto on minimum battles. We're ready to move on to Kanto, and as I've said before, I think most of this section is just a victory lap. Most of this is just going to be us like, hey, look, we have an Alakazam. Honestly, it's going to be red. That's the next time that we actually have something to worry about. We'll have to have at least one coverage move for the Espeon, but for other things, Psychic might just be enough, especially with the Recover. So we'll just have to see, but for now, that strategy worked. I'm perfectly fine with that. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping. Since we have managed to get through Johto on minimum battles, we'll just get the SS ticket, but now I'm also going to go and get all of the rare candies and things like that we need. So let's just have them all, because red is the spot where we're just going to absolutely have to drop tons and tons of rare candies there. But now we're going to come to this section right here, the Sprout Tower, because I want to make sure that we actually get access to Flash someday, guys. Promise you, someday I'm going to memorize and play at 1x speed so that I can actually, you know, like make my way through, you know, dark areas. But for now, this is the strategy. We're going to come here and just beat up on level 3 Bellsprouts with a Gyarados. Clearly, this is fair. This is the fair way to fight the game. You know, Bite just completely destroys them. Don't even need Thrash or anything. Teach Surf. Why would you teach Surf here? Come on. So the Sage, he's going to be like, oh, you've come to fight me after defeating the Pokemon League? What is this? like what? Since when do guys who defeat the league come to Violet Town? But hey, you know, we've done it. We can go ahead and just make our way out of here. I'll even just use the escape rope that they provide. Cool. And with that, we have managed to get through that section at least, and we can go ahead and teach Flash to our Abra. So we're going to let our Abra roleplay as Sabrina's Abra from Pokemon Yellow. There we go. All right, so I believe we've got all the rare candies we need. Do we have 7? 7 rare candies? Yes, we do. Perfect. We're ready to go to Kanto. Now, this whole section should be super duper easy, but let's just see if that's actually the case. Like I said, I don't think anything's going to be hard until at least Blue. At least. Even with that, Blue's probably not going to be too difficult. So yeah, let's just come here and beat up on this guy. We don't necessarily need to change our moveset immediately to even have Psychic. We can probably just run Elemental Punches for a hot minute, given the exact moves that we have. So let's just do that. Like, I will pick up Psychic here from Mr. Psychic just to have it. Cool. That is done. Let's go up to Sabrina's gym, because we wouldn't even want to use Psychic here. We just want to use these other, you know, Elemental Punches. I think this is fine. Let's see if we completely destroy her gym. Keeping in mind, she will give us a badge boost in Psychic type moves, so Psychic will be stronger after beating her. So Sabrina, attempt number 1, she leads off with the Espeon. We just go Ice Punch and freeze it. Oh, the disrespect. So we get through that one on the first attempt. Mr. Mime tries to bury her, thinking that Elemental Punches are physical, clearly. And now her Alakazam takes over half and then goes Reflect. Good job. Oh, Sabrina. Oh, she just didn't even try. Just didn't even try. So just like that, we have completed our first Kanto gym. And honestly, Ice Punch should be more than enough for Erica. Like, we don't even need Psychic here. You know, this is supposed to be a Twisted Spoon Alakazam using Psychic type moves. No. Why would we do that? Why would we ever use Psychic type moves? Come on. Clearly would be a massive mistake. So Erica, attempt number 1. She's going to lead off with Tangela. We go Ice Punch. Easy one-hit KO victory. Jump Bluff. Get Ice Punched. Oh, that Pokemon really does not want to see Price later on in the minimum battle series. Bellossom gets completely destroyed, and Victory Bell gets wrecked. Erica never had any sort of shot in that fight. And just like that, we are now able to move on in the game. And honestly, like, I could have taken on Lieutenant Surge. I just didn't, you know, clearly I make my decisions really, you know, thoughtfully and carefully in this run. But for now, we're just going to go on and get to this whole, you know, machine part quest so that we can progress. I don't think I'm going to learn any new moves until at earliest, maybe Blaine. Maybe I will learn a new move for Blaine. Anyway, we have made it to Misty. Let's see how this goes. So Misty, attempt number 1, she leads off with Golduck. I'm just gonna Thunder Punch right there and one-shot that Pokemon. Starmie comes out next. We just Thunder Punch and one-shot it. Not sure why she sent that Pokemon out second. Quagsire will go Ice Punch. It's gonna be a 2-hit KO, but it just goes Amnesia and gets destroyed the next turn. And then Lapras, Thunder Punch, is a 2-hit KO, but it goes Rain Dance. Okay, good job, Misty. you did excellently, considering that you know, we knew we were gonna beat you, but hey, 2 of your Pokemon actually managed to survive a hit. That's a small, you know, congratulations, I guess. Anyway, now we can come back. We can deliver the machine part. We'll get the expansion card. Reckon we'll just go and fight against Lieutenant Surge while we're down there. And yeah, so Lieutenant Surge leads off with his Raichu. Let's go Ice Punch. It's not a 1-hitter, it's a 2-hitter, and we get paralyzed. Oh no. Now Electrode, we missed the first Ice Punch. Second Ice Punch, just one-shots though. Magneton, we don't have anything good for. Goes Zap Cannon. I'm not really too worried about that though. He's going to send out Electrode next. I'm just going to recover here, you know, because Gen 2 evasion isn't really that bad when he's going for all the double teams. We should hit eventually. Sure enough, we do. Knock that one out. Electabuzz is the last Pokemon. Oh, it goes Light Screen. Some actual strategy from the Trash Man. Oh, I'm so scared. We still knock him out. So we get to level 58, even paralyzed. Lieutenant Surge just never actually poses a challenge to anybody. So here, let's come into Brock's gym. We obviously have a clear strategy here. Just the Ice Punch, Thunder Punch will do the job here. So the Sand Slash on Lightyear's Boy gets completely destroyed, and Brocky Boy time. He's going to lead off with the Graveler, which just is an easy 1-hit KO with the Ice Punch. Out comes the Amistar. We can Thunder Punch. Easy victory there. Rhyhorn gets Ice Punched, so no challenge on that Pokemon. Onyx gets Ice Punched. Yet again, no challenge. And Kabutops take the Thunder Punch. Rock does not resist electric type, so we easily get through. Nice. And with Brock done, I'm just going to fly back to Viridian because of the fact that there is that Beedrill trainer who's like a spinner that just loves to, you know, ruin my day by just repeatedly seeing me. So we're just going to avoid that guy. Nice. Now we don't have to take on any additional battles. We can get straight down to Cinnabar, or what is left of Cinnabar. And I believe that Cinnabar Island is based on like Sakurajima in Japan. That is my guess. And recently there's actually been this like really crazy island out, you know, in, it's like the south part of Kagoshima prefecture, like going down towards Okinawa, where they literally had like 1,000 earthquakes in a single day, but they were like super tiny, most of them, but then they had a couple big ones. Nuts, guys, nuts. People were like, you know, running away from this little island, coming to the mainland. It was news here. Anyway, we've made it to Blaine, and I guess Ice Punch is like technically something here. Oh wait, Ice isn't super effective. What the heck am I doing? Rip. Okay, here, Thunder Punch one-shots the Magmar, and Rapidash will be a 2-hitter. Obviously, we crit on the Magmar, but it still is an easy victory. Anyway, here is Janine. Janine is not going to be a challenge at all. Ice Punch on the Crobat, perfectly fine. 1-hit KO. Ariados, let's just stick with the Ice Punch. Obviously, Venomoth is flying type, so it just goes down in a single hit. Wheezing, Ice Punch is a one-hitter there, and second Wheezing. Wheezing, you know, it levitates, so technically flying type, in my opinion. Therefore, we are going to just Ice Punch it. Oh man, just saying, guys. We have gotten through this entire section with no issues whatsoever, and now it's time to go back and take on Blue, our final gym leader, before we actually get to the real challenge at the end of the game. And I don't know, maybe the elemental punches are the best way to go here, because I mean, a lot of his Pokemon are weak to these moves and otherwise neutrally affected. Let's just see. I'm going to go in without adding on Psychic here. Let's just see how this goes. So Blue attempt number 1, the Pidgeot, we can just go Ice Punch here. It is a one-hitter. Perfect. We get the level to get to level 60. Alakazam, everything's neutral anyway, so I'm just going to go for a couple Thunder Punches. Easy victory. Rhydon comes out. We'll go Ice Punch. Obviously, Reflect means nothing here, and it's just a one-hit KO. That brings out Gyarados. We go Thunder Punch. One-hit KO on that Pokemon. Exeggutor gets Ice Punched. Easy victory there. Oh, actually, no. It survives and Leech Seeds. Oh, and now the full restore. Disrespect. Are you kidding me? Oh, look at the double full restores here. Just trying to mess with us, but we freeze his Pokemon, so that's easy. And now Arcanine Thunder Punch does less than half. He fire or he flamethrowers us. Okay. And then extreme speed. We're going to just recover here. And now I'm going to Thunderwave him, given the fact that he is clearly going for extreme speed and he actually knocks me out. No. Okay. Now I feel like maybe I should put on Psychic, because that was not what I expected. We need to destroy that Arcanine. So which do I forget? Ice Punch or Thunder Punch? I'm going to forget Thunder Punch because we want Ice Punch for the Exeggutor. There we go. Simple logic, simple mechanics, guys. But now with this new setup, we can still go Ice Punch on Pidgeot, of course. No need to change that setup there. We'll stick with the Ice Punch on the Alakazam, since obviously it can do nothing here. Easy victory. Rhydon, once again, Ice Punch. Now for the Gyarados, we're going to go for Psychic. And this is a two-hitter. It goes Rain Dance, though. That's perfectly fine with me. Exeggutor comes out. Reflect fades. And we get the range to just one-shot this time. So we're back to Arcanine on full health with no, no Leech Seed. And then this one's just going to be a two-hit KO, and he's going to full restore. And at this point, there's nothing that he can do. He simply goes down on the second attempt when we have Psychic. Really, though, I think that was just an issue of not getting the one-hit KO range on the Exeggutor last time, which clearly is a range because we got it the second time. And that might have just been a low roll for all I know. So, you know, I don't run damage calcs. I don't actually know what the range was there, but clearly that's a winnable fight. Very winnable fight. Probably didn't need to actually put Psychic on the moveset, but you know, it is what it is. Blue wasn't having any of it. There we go. But now I want to ask, why do we fly to Red's house when we fly here to Pallet Town? His mother doesn't know us. She's like, what are you doing here? I'm worried about my son. You kind of look like you're trying to be my son, but you're not my son. Get out of here. Anyway, we'll come talk to Professor Oak. He's going to send us to Mount Silver. It's where he sent Red so that he could have his mom all to himself. That's one of my favorite Pokemon theories. Is that Professor Oak sends Ash Ketchum out on his Pokemon journey so that he can hit on Ash's mom. Anyway, not like she would actually be interested in Professor Oak, though. She's got Mr. Mime around the house. Come on. Anyway, we're going to just get one more rare candy here, and we're ready to make our way to the final boss of the game. 10 rare candies in the bag, so we can get up to level 71 in this one with our medium slow level up group. And I think we've got decent odds of getting through this, but let's see how it actually works out here. I am going to slam the PP ups into Psychic so that I have more PP. Obviously, we need something other than Psychic for Espeon. But then the question is just, what do we want as our coverage move? I think Thunder Punch is the play here for the Charizard and the Blastoise. That's my logic. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that is what I'm going to go for. So I'm going to forget Ice Punch in order to learn Thunder Punch. Just for reference, we have gotten here with 20 resets at the start of this battle. It says 14 optional battles, but keep in mind that includes some of the trainers that aren't properly programmed into my overlay, and it includes the Pokemon that we knocked out with our Gyarados. So we don't actually have any optional battles. You can go back and watch the tape. And we have a ton of TMs, but that's mostly just from me swapping moves around. So really not too bad to get to this point in the game. And now it is red time. I'm going to go in one time with no rare candies and just see how this goes. First up, we get the Pikachu, and we are faster than the Pikachu. So we can just go Psychic, and that is an easy one-hit KO. Espeon comes out next. We obviously have to Thunder Punch here. It did not do great damage, but this Pokemon's only really using Psychic. I'm going to Thunder Wave here. It goes for Reflect. That's perfectly fine. I just will take that opportunity to heal up a little bit. We just don't want a special drop here. Let's heal up again. Let's just make sure that we've got good HP as we go to the Snorlax. And now Thunder Punch will take that one down. Snorlax is out next. Obviously, it's going to use Amnesia at some point, but Body Slam does massive damage. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was painful. Ooh. Okay, we definitely need the rare candies here. Just saying. So here, let's go ahead and just drop some rare candies because, yeah, that Body Slam did way too much damage there. And we weren't getting a very good range on the Espeon, so I think this is the way to go. Let's try at level 69. Let's just see if this is a really nice run. Otherwise, we have 2 rare candies left in the bag. But I think it's too meme-worthy to try level 69 here. We, of course, one-shot the Pikachu. We're going to go for our Thunder Punches here. This now looks to be a 3-hit KO range. We get a special defense drop. Ooh, the plot thickens. Espeon doing actual damage here. And ooh, the crit too. Come on. Obviously, if it doesn't crit, we will be able to heal back more damage than it deals to us. But we definitely do not like this situation. Eventually, it's going to run out of Psychic PP though. So there we go. It has no Psychic PP left. And now it goes Mud Slap. Oh, great. Just what we needed, the Mud Slap. I was hoping it would go Swift. Here we can go Psychic now on this Snorlax. It goes Amnesia here. I'm going to Thunder Wave. Body Slam did pretty significant damage, but we can heal here. And we still get knocked out. Okay. Now, the other thing is that against the Espeon, we could try to Psychic ourselves. And it appears that Psychic is doing basically the same as the Thunder Punch. So we get a 3-hit KO there. So now on this Snorlax, I'm just going to go for Psychic here. I think we need a crit here on this Pokemon, to be perfectly honest. Crits will ignore their stat boosts, but not ignore like any changes to our own stats, basically, if I recall correctly. Or I think it ignores the user's stat drops. But yeah, here I think we need the special defense drop, for example, on the Snorlax. And if we're at low enough HP, we actually get knocked out. This is a spot where we kind of wish we had Reflect. Obviously, we don't care about Charm. I just misclicked there on the Pikachu, but it's perfectly fine. So here, I think we go Thunder Punch just because of the fact that the ranges are the same either way. Let's Thunder Wave on the Snorlax. Oh, and we have to have higher HP there. Rip. That was the mistake. We needed higher HP there to survive against the Snorlax for a turn. Okay, here we just need Espeon to be fully paralyzed for a turn so that we can knock it out and be on full health as we go to the Snorlax. Very nice. There we go. Now, yet again, I'm going to Thunder Wave on Snorlax, hoping that we can buy some extra turns here. We get the special defense drop there, but it is very telling that we're taking more damage here from its Body Slam than what we're dealing to it. And now it rests. And it's got all of the setup. This is one spot where Dynamic Punch might actually be a play, just because the Snorlax is able to set up the Amnesia. I'm going to try that. Probably not ideal, but it is the strategy that I'm just going to test out here. No Thunder Punch. Let's go Dynamic Punch. Because Psychic is basically getting the same range against that Espeon. Otherwise, we can go for the freeze strats with the Ice Punch. I think is the next best play. Just my opinion. So here on the Espeon, I'm just going to go with the Psychic the whole way. And once again, I will Thunder Wave on this Pokemon, hoping for it to be fully paralyzed so I can just use the opportunity to heal up. Fortunately, Recover has more PP anyway, so we get to knock that Pokemon out. Let's see what Dynamic Punch does here. Does really good damage and gets the Confusion, which is the main point here. And that gets the Snorlax on fairly low health, and 3 Dynamic Punches would be enough to knock this Pokemon out. Plus, when it's asleep, it obviously cannot use Amnesia. so it snores, but we just managed to knock it out after that. So Dynamic Punch does solve that part of this battle. Now Charizard is going to be a 2-hitter. The Flamethrower did really good damage, but we do manage to take that Pokemon down. Blastoise is out next. We're going to recover here as it goes Surf. Surf does decent damage, but I think we can out heal it. Now I'm going to Thunder Wave this Pokemon. It goes Rain Dance. That will of course power up Surf, so we got to be a little careful here. Surf is now doing over half to us, and we kind of need it to be fully paralyzed, I think. Obviously the rain will stop eventually. Fortunately, Recover has a lot of PP too. So here we can now go Psychic. We did about half, and so Surf isn't that big of a deal, just a 2-hitter there. That brings out the Venusaur. We're on half HP, but we've run out of Psychic PP because I didn't use the PP ups. No, rip. Oh, this run. Rip this run. We're going to have to recover here. I'm going to Dynamic Punch in order to confuse this Pokemon. He will not use any full restores here, but now we have to use up our PP in Thunder Wave. Oh man, no. Mistakes were made, guys. Mistakes were made. Okay, it's fully paralyzed. We can like take another turn to use a Thunder Wave PP there. Of course, Solar Beam normally has to take in Sunlight, but we are running out of recovers here. Oh no, this is terrible. Oh, mistakes. Oh man. So we're going to lose this one just due to not having enough PP. Even after I said I was going to use the PP ups. Come on. Mistakes were made, guys. Mistakes were absolutely made. Okay, but this is fine. We've got this. Okay, let's save the game now that we've used the PP ups, because now I think we have the strategy for getting through this. Let's just go Psychic on Pikachu as usual. Nothing to see here. Espeon, Thunder Wave into Psychic. Goes Reflect, which is actually a strategy. We kind of want to have it run out of Reflect before we get to the Snorlax, but okay. Anyway, Snorlax, we missed the first Dynamic Punch, missed the second Dynamic Punch. That's all she wrote when we get paralyzed by the Body Slam. Clearly, we had the victory right in our grasp, and we just needed the PP ups in Psychic, of course. We would have had 6 PP left over in that situation. Let's just make sure that with the Espeon, we want to recover a bunch here and make sure that that Reflect fades before we move on. Okay, Reflect does fade, and it's fully paralyzed. Perfect. So back to the Snorlax. We missed the first Dynamic Punch, hit the second one. Okay, and it's confused, and it hits itself in confusion. Dynamic Punch, and he Body Slams, and now even Psychic should just end that one. Charizard, I'm going to Thunder Wave this Pokemon. Let's recover right here. Flamethrower obviously does decent damage. Oh, and we get burned. Oh no. Oh no. Let's just recover here. Obviously rest would be nice in this specific spot. And here we really want this Pokemon to be fully paralyzed because we're taking so much damage. Oh no. The burn basically ends this one, I think. We need like a crit on Blastoise, and we don't get it, and we simply go down to the burn. Okay. I thought if we crit the Blastoise, we might have had a chance then to just one-shot the Venusaur. The burn is only like this time we actually get like appropriate luck. Dynamic Punch hits the Snorlax. There we go. It's confused. Hits itself in confusion. Yes. Uses Amnesia, but I don't think that matters at that point. So we knock that Pokemon out. Charizard, Psychic, gets the critical hit. There we go. That takes that one down. Blastoise, we know, is a 2-hit KO here. It goes for the Rain Dance. That's perfectly fine. We destroy it. And now, finally, Venusaur, Psychic, and on full health, we managed to beat Red. So, yeah, it only took a small number of resets there. We could have had that a long time ago. But hey, you know, PP ups, they're important, guys. PP is the most important thing in the world. That is what Pokemon has taught me. If you don't have enough PP, you might have problems. Oh man. Oh, this is a children's game. It's hilarious. I'm sorry. I find that hilarious personally. Anyway, we have made it to the end, guys. GG. We got through. We got it. In the end, we didn't technically know damage because of the fact that the Espeon did hit us with Psychic, but we were recovering all the HP. Finally was paralyzed when we needed it to be, and then we just got the one-hitters on everything that we needed one-hitters on, and bad play. So we'll take it. We'll take it. Anyway, guys, that was a heck of a lot of fun. Alakazam clearly, at least with the Twisted Spoon, is getting through there. But keep in mind, some of those ranges were a little bit sus. at the end. You know, like we're getting the 2-hit range on the Blastoise, but that looks really close. Without the Twisted Spoon, that might not be a 2-hitter there. We have this situation against the Espeon where we 3-hit KO'd with Psychic, but without the Twisted Spoon, we may not be 3-hit KOing there. And there are just some spots like that throughout the run where, you know, Psychic is a strong same type move, but it's only 90 base power, right? So it's not like it's the most, you know, overpowered move in the game. So, you know, Alakazam, that's kind of its ceiling. That's kind of what it can do. Best case scenario. Still gets the job done. So that was fun. Appreciate you guys. I want to just say a massive thank you to everybody who hung out. Saw Haken Bacon in here. Of course, I saw Kombe in here a bunch. Saw Mobile Gaming Chronicles, of course, in here a bunch. I believe I did not announce this stream publicly in advance, which is my bad, guys, because it is a channel member stream. Of course, the VOD will be available for everybody. Obviously, channel members first, but eventually this will get edited up and posted for everyone. But yeah, guys, it's been chaos over here in some ways. I'm on a almost 1 week holiday right now, though. Only on Tuesday I have to work. Why? I don't know. we had a meeting and somebody was like, so should we just close on Tuesday because, you know, it's one day? The boss is just like, maybe we should open. Like, come on, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I got paid holidays, I would love to just take the day off. No, how about we all work on Tuesday? Thanks, Japan. Thanks, Japanese boss. But you know, outside of that, I will be off most of this week. I'm gonna be just kind of grinding away, making a bunch of content. The next episode of the Minimum Battles series is already done, and I'm gonna be starting on the next episode after that. Lucky Egg Chansey that I already did for you guys last month is gonna be also edited up and posted very soon publicly. You guys can just stunt on everybody that you've already seen it. Anyway, that basically does it for this one, guys. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with me, and you know, just tell me whatever you guys have in mind as far as ideas for challenges, runs. One thing that I'm planning to do, though, just kind of sticking in this theme of held items, especially held items that were transferred from Gen 1 to Gen 2, we actually have a 4-parter that we got to do. We got to do the Bright Powder Pokemon. Those are the 3 legendary birds of Kanto and Mewtwo. When transferred from Gen 1 to Gen 2, come in with Bright Powder, an item that in Gen 2 lowers your opponent's accuracy by 7.8%. It got buffed to 10% in Gen 3, but it just makes them slightly evasive against everything. Almost like, you know, making up for Gen 1 with, you know, like how even 100% accurate moves could miss, except it's, you know, way more than what 20 times the effect of a Gen 1 miss. So it could actually have a big impact on a run, and it would be really fun to see just how many 100% accurate damage dealing moves miss in that run because of the Bright Powder. I'm going to test it out in the future, and I just want to see it on all of the legendary birds and Mewtwo. Tell me what you think about that. But anyway, that basically does it for this one. Hope you guys are having a good one. Take care. I will see you in the next one. Later, guys.